Hi, I'm Jeff Chandler. Welcome to another edition of Fire Engineering Training Minutes. Today we're going to talk about how to safely evacuate a leak out of a 325-gallon propane cylinder. We're going to be simulating a leak off the bottom of the cylinder. We're going to need to simulate vapor dispersion of the liquid vapors that will be coming out of the container to ensure that we have a safe working environment. It is absolutely imperative that we keep the tank dry during our vapor dispersion event. Do not put water on the tank, as the water can freeze and hamper your ultimate operations. On the top of the cylinder, we have our service valve with the POL discharge point. We have a percentage gauge. You're going to want to estimate the volume of liquid that's inside of the container to estimate your ultimate burn rate. Additionally, we have our liquid fill valve and our liquid withdrawal valve and the pressure relief valve. On many cylinders that you might have an issue where you have a rusty old tank that has a leak off the bottom of the container, you may have an older style liquid withdrawal valve that may look entirely too unreliable and unsafe to be withdrawing liquid out of that valve. In this scenario, we're going to be utilizing the liquid fill valve. Ultimately, what we need to do is to lift the tank, set it up on cribbing, and then rotate the tank in order to facilitate getting liquid out of the liquid fill valve. In doing so, we're also going to make the operation safer by the release point being in the bottom, is making that release point roll to the upper portion of the tank so that the vapor is evacuating out of that release point rather than liquid evacuating out of that release point. Our hazmat techs will go in and apply a plug and patch kit to slow the leak down and ultimately try to get what is now in the liquid phase, get that leak stopped to make the rest of the operation safer.
Okay, so we've got our cylinder cribbed up here, and basically we just want to make sure that our contact points are all in line with each other, and we want to make sure that we have enough support for the weight of the cylinder. So we know that a 2x2 crib like this, meaning 2 lengths by 2 lengths, is good for 24,000 pounds, and we have this load supported on 4 boxes, each box being good for 24,000 pounds, and that's based on our contact points here being 6,000 pounds each, and that's for number 1 Doug fir lumber like we're using. Okay, so the next step is going to be, now that we've got the cylinder up on the rails, there's a really low coefficient of friction. We'll be able to just hand roll this cylinder this way, and we'll use the wedges as a brake until we get it 180 degrees so that we've changed the liquid space and the vapor space so we can evacuate this cylinder. Okay, so just one point to note is that these lifting eyes that are on either end of the cylinder are designed for the propane company to set these empty tanks in place, and this will not support the weight of a loaded cylinder. So we just want to, although it's an attractive purchase point for us to start our roll if we were going to use some sort of mechanical advantage, it's not going to support the weight of a loaded cylinder, and we could potentially damage the end wall of the cylinder. So if we're going to use mechanical advantage to assist us to roll the cylinder, we need to sling the body of the tank itself.
The pilot system is lit on the flare system. We have a meter in place, and we also have a vapor dispersion line in place in the event that we have any issues with vapor moving with wind direction. At this point, we're going to open up the cylinders and allow a vapor burn to come off the flare from the damaged cylinder. Now we're going to begin our roll to get burning liquid. Now you can see that we are burning liquid off the top of the flare. We'll continue this process until the liquid is expended, and then ultimately the vapor burns away as well. You can see we have plenty of space underneath the tank to allow for a complete roll. We can get the valves now at 180 degrees. We have the ability to completely pull all the liquid off of the tank through the liquid fill valve, which is normally in the vapor phase. As we roll the tank, our leak point, which was originally in the liquid phase, has now rotated up, so now it is in the vapor phase portion of the tank, which makes for a much safer operation in the event that your patch kit did not completely stop the leak. Thank you for watching another edition of Fire Engineering Training Minutes. I'd like to thank the Guilford Fire Department, Captain Clint Haverkampf, and Quality Propane of Clinton, Connecticut for their assistance in making this video. Stay safe out there.